Hey guys, it's your girl Brown's Magic. So when it comes to AoE, I'm more of a skeptic, right? I go back and forth. Okay, yeah, that is likely. And then, like, the next day I'll be like, oh, maybe it's not so likely. I'm usually around 50-40%. Like, okay, it will, could, yes, maybe happen. I forgot who did all the dirty work, right? I forgot who did all the work for me and made this so easy for me to do. But someone on Reddit put all the cast special chapters, right? At the end of each manga, put them all in one forum thing. So I was able to read it. And I mean, guys, Isayama said himself that the caste system do provide insight to the characters that, we may have otherwise not known about. You've seen a lot of people on a certain side of the fandom use the caste systems to say, look, Eren was psychotic and he was bored and he wanted to do the rumbling anyway, blah, 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 right? So let's not ignore the rest of the caste system then, right? Let's look at the whole thing then. Wow, I just realized my mic wasn't plugged in, so that probably sounded terrible. Maybe it sounded better, because sometimes when I don't use the mic, I like how it sounds better, but yesterday we saw the little AOE debate, and it looked not so good, right? But I do just want to add my 2 cents and say, of course, on the AOE side, there's going to be a lot of I don't know, right? Because we're not Isayama. We don't know exactly how he's going to tie these things together. If there is to be an AOE, right? Disclaimer, if. We don't know exactly how he's going to tie these things together, right? We just have kind of bullet points to what is to be expected to make everything make sense and to seal up some of the plot holes that 139 leaves, right? So we only have these basic bullet points, right? That's why the debate looked as bad on our side as it did, even though I have to say, always try hard. You kind of pulled through a little bit. I'm not going to lie, you pulled through. But we've all seen the bird theories. We've seen the mirror theories. We've seen this, that, the sunset, the openings, the endings. We have all of that. So here's just one avenue that people don't pay enough attention to. I'm just going to make a little video about that real quick. Just stay with me. So to summarize caste system, Eren is this normal kid. The rest of the students are the 104th, obviously, right? And they're all stereotypical roles in a typical high school movie, basically. Historia is this cheerleader, the quote queen bee. She has this posse. Reiner is the jock, and they're like the bullies of the school and whatnot. Armin is a nerd. Mikasa is a goth. I don't know. She's just a goth girl. And Levi and Hanji and the seniors or whatever, they're all teachers and janitors. So the story is basically this. Eren is really bored at high school, right? Mirroring him in the actual Attack on Titan, how he's bored and he's like, I wish something would happen today. And then lo and behold, the Colossal Titan kicks down the wall, whatever. So in the high school caste system, it's much more like, this is real life. This is something that would actually happen. Eren is super bored, and Historia is also super bored, and Eren's just this normal guy who she takes interest in. Okay, that's important. She takes interest in Eren, so she decides to make this rumor that Eren did something bad to her. So the bullies and the jocks and the popular people of the school are like, okay, well, let's rough him up a bit, right? So they just, they splash water in his face, they trip him, they do all this, and he's like, why is this happening to me? But, at least I'm not bored anymore. Honestly, it's a pretty good story, and I actually enjoyed it a lot. But anyways, there's just a lot of, AOE hints in it. We're gonna break them down right now. Now, it is very possible. I accept the possibility that all of this is overthought and looking way too much into it. But in the caste systems, it says a few words can change everything in this panel I'm showing you right now. And Armin is getting bullied by John, which I find hilarious. It's hysterical. And Mikasa says, this must be the night brought forth by my curse. A few words can change everything. Mikasa curses Eren. And in the AOE theories, it is a big theory that Mikasa is the one cursing Eren to repeat the time loop over and over and over again, right? And that's backed up by the whole love Sumika thing, right? So this is pretty good evidence, honestly. It really is. And it's also possible I'm just overthinking it. That's a possibility. But the biggest thing is, why are 4 and 5 different things saying the same thing? That's where it becomes a little, is it a coincidence? Is it I'm looking too much into it? Is all the AOE theorists just looking too much into it? Because why are so many things pointing in the same direction? Mikasa is cursing Eren. Isayama says that the cast can provide some context to things we otherwise wouldn't know about, right? So here we have in the cast Mikasa cursing Eren. And no hate to Mikasa, she's kind of depicted more creepy in the caste systems. She's hanging behind the corners, she's looking around the wall, staying out of sight, spying on Eren, right? So this just, I feel like, highlights more of the obsession. And, people on the other side will say, hey, the caste system says that Eren was bored, so he wanted to rumble for fun or whatever, da-da-da, right? Okay, well, the caste system is also making Mikasa look obsessive and creepy. So let's, let's look at the whole thing here. And then to highlight my point, like, look at Mikasa here. Eren's just enjoying his day, and she's like, Armin's like, let's watch 21 Jump Street, good movie, whatever. And Mikasa's like, let's watch Twilight. And this is funny because if you guys have seen Saint Achieves a video, like, about Aramika in general, he mentions Twilight, and I just find that so hilarious because their connection, in my opinion, is kind of dull. Just like the, Bella X Edward. Sorry, I'm just gonna say it. This isn't gonna be some unbiased ass, video. If that's what you were looking for, I'm sorry. This is Brown's Magic's AOE video. This is the next panel I want to talk about. These panels right here, it's just Arahisu is so coded, and I don't know how people refuse to see the romantic subtext between Eren and Historia. It makes absolutely no sense to me, but, people on that side will pull up the caste systems to say, hey, look, Eren was bored, this shows some of his motivation to the rumbling, right? So look at the connection here between Eren and Historia. Historia is interested in Eren in this. Now let's read these panels. So this would require you to pay very close attention. Like even look at Reiner's face, right? We know in canon Reiner has this little crush on Historia, right? That is why he's blushing and staring at her like this. And obviously Ymir's clinging onto her back, just like in canon. Okay, so apparently they're a part of something called the Do-Gooders Club, and Historia's like, wow, this is, we don't actually do good shit, we're just in a club. And you can pause it and read it. And then we have this panel of, Ymir being really creepy, sniffing Historia's hair. I'm gonna read this to you. Historia says, oh, I see you're walking all by your dull self yet again. I understand you're the same way, right? Everything in this world is just so boring to you too. We've never spoken before, but I understand. Looking at you makes me feel calm. When I was little, I used to stuff bottles full of dirt and ants and just stare at them, but seeing you reminds me of that. Then she says, huh? So you made some friends. Looks like you ended up falling in with the weirdest crowd. Boring. I'm sure you'll get bored of those dorks after they show you a bunch of uninteresting movies or something, right? Huh, looks like the delinquents have it in for them. What? Are you really gonna stick up for those gross nerds? Oh, I get it. Having those nerds rely on you makes you feel good. Now, okay, pause. This isn't a test to Eren's fucking character, right? Because we know, even in canon, Historia and Eren understand each other, right? So this just solidifies that. In, people's hour and 30 long minute videos, this, I feel like, is another thing they can't ignore about Eren's character. He likes to be depended on. He likes to have people rely on him. And so, anyways, let's continue. This is about Arahisu right now. I know you're not doing it out of justice. You're just forcing yourself to do it. I know you don't really care about any of them at all. Damn, so she says that Eren basically doesn't care about Armin or Mikasa at all, which, I mean, in canon... Hey, Isayama said that this caste system provides fucking insight on the series itself, right? So this is, I mean, come on, man. It's Isayama saying that he doesn't care, that Eren does not care about Mikasa or Armin at all. What's Historia saying that? But he writes it so that Historia understands Eren more than anyone else. So we have to assume she's being right here. You can't ignore the fact, okay, it says that he's not doing it for justice, right? So what this tells me is that Eren didn't do the rumbling because he was bored. It just really just solidifies the fact that he did it because he wanted to. Like, that was one of the reasons, right? Not only was that the only way out for Eldians, but he also wanted to do that shit. That was a really fucking bad analogy, but I mean, hopefully it, fucking broke it down for you. the takeaway is supposed to be that even though, like, it sucks, it's gonna be long, it's gonna be annoying, it's gonna be painful, terrible, a part of you still fucking would rather take the long road. In other words, like, TLDR, Eren is someone who fucking does not like shortcuts, does not like shit being easy. He would prefer the rocky fucking road. Because it gives him something to do. It gives him, like, a purpose. And I feel like that's what the caste system is trying to show us. So the shitty state of Paradis in canon gives Eren a fucking purpose. Whereas otherwise, he'd just be, like, lollygagging around, like, fucking frolicking around. Sure, he'd be in the Survey Corps or some shit, but, you know, he still wouldn't have that big of a purpose if he wasn't a Titan, if that makes any sense. So anyways, getting back on track, Historia realizes that Eren, all these people around him actually really like him, right? So she's like, I see. So I was all alone. How boring. Makes the rumor that Eren did something to her. And she gets him targeted by the entire school, which is fucking hilarious. This story is actually fucking hilarious. But this part is really mysterious because what can you attribute this to the manga to? Besides Historia understanding Eren, besides her having a desire to, I don't know, looks like she wants to interact with him, guys. That's what it looks like. So, how do you relate this to Eren being targeted in canon? Well, the only thing Historia really has in canon right now is a baby. So, to me, it sounds like it would not be impossible to say that Eren is doing the rumbling for this reason, for that reason, for this reason, and also for Historia's baby. That's the only thing in canon we have that Historia could do, that she has, that could get Eren targeted in any way. So, he did something to me. Could just be he got me pregnant. Like, it could just be he gave me this child in canon. Or, you know, obviously it's an overthought and it's just in here because why not? But then we cannot really use the whole caste system. We can't use it to draw things from Eren's character, which Isayama said we're supposed to do. So it's like, what parts do we take and what parts do we leave? So in my opinion, we either take all of it or we take none of it. So this is my fucking favorite part of this because it's so fucking hilarious. Eren is getting bullied by the whole school because of the rumor that he did something to Historia, right? So let's zoom in and read some of this. So Mikasa's like, my dark night. And Armin's like, what do you do, Eren? I'm hearing rumors that you did something to Historia. And Historia's just watching Eren get bullied. So in this part, Historia's showing like some remorse. She's like, oh no, I never thought a rumor would lead to this. And if you remember, in the beginning of the fucking caste systems, the popular kids are in the protection, like student protection club or whatever the fuck, protecting students against rumors. So she also calls out the hypocrisy of these people. I think it's kind of funny how some of these people are alliance members that she's, you know, calling out for being hypocrites. She says, please just stop acting like you're some kind of bringers of justice who strike down evil. And she's talking about all the people bullying Eren. I mean, come on, you can't say that's not some meta about the alliance. We have Reiner, we have Bert, we have Hitch who helped Annie. So, you know, they're all participating in bullying Eren. Even John. You know, the fucking alliance is bullying Eren, bro. So then Historia says, oh, what should I do? You know, like, what would happen if I say I made it all up now? And she's like, oh, he's coming this way. I'll say I'm sorry. If I say it sincerely from the heart, maybe he'll understand. And Eren's like, who are you? What'd you say I did? But she keeps up the front and she says, why don't you look inside yourself and ask that? I think you know. So apparently there's some video of him biting her head, whatever, da-da-da. And Mikasa's like, oh, the popular kids are beating Eren up because he decided to fight back against them bullying him. And she's like, our poor Dark Knight. However, them jumping Eren also makes the school think badly of Historia. They're like, there's no such thing as a well-adjusted rich kid. Yeah, I heard she even put ants in bottles and shook them up or whatever, da-da-da. Then Historia's like, oh, I didn't do anything. They did that on their own. I was just bored. You know, she feels bad for what happened, but she doesn't want to take responsibility. But it is her fault that Eren got jumped, which I feel gives us some, you know, when she asked Eren, should I have a child? in the manga, in the canon, right, when she asked him that, maybe it led to her saying something, and that's when Eren was like, oh, fuck, well, I guess I really do gotta rumble then. Because think about it in canon, we don't have really any reason, hey, the world's about to end, should I have a kid? You know, they have the wine plan in place. Well, what's the point of the kid? So there's something going on here. Historia is partly to blame for Eren getting jumped in the manga, in the canon. So Historia, still feeling bad for getting Eren wrapped up in this mess, is like, I'm the worst. And he comes up to her, he's like, hey, I understand how I hurt you now. I'm sorry. And she's confused. She's like, what? And then she's like, he protected me by lying? So it's like, what is the meta here? What is the only thing in the story that's pretty much shrouded by mystery? What is the only thing that Eren could possibly lie about Historia to protect her? Is it him keeping quiet that a royal titan is needed to activate the founding powers? Well, no, that's not really a lie, is it? So what else is there? Well, there's the baby. So somebody warned her. You know, it's a chin scratcher. And I don't know, this just fucking makes Armin and Mikasa look super creepy to me, but... So I guess it was Armin's idea for Eren to apologize, and he's like, all you have to do is spoil the fun once, and the rumors all vanish. And then he says that, oh, we've come out of this situation with Historia owing you a solid, basically. And Mikasa's like, a fellow follower of the dark. At Armin, showing that they're accomplices, right? And I guess we do see that in the ending of the manga, right? They're pretty accomplished. And Eren's like, I really don't care. I just don't want to be bothered with this stuff anymore. But what's interesting here is up there, right by Attack on Skullcast. Don't believe Armin's twisted words. So then there's this one where the big idea here is that Eren asks Mikasa, why would dead strangers know what he likes? And I don't know if this is some like... Actually, I don't fucking know what to think about this, but they play this Ouija board, and Mikasa asks the Ouija board, what does Eren like? And then it's implied that Mikasa's moving the fucking Ouija board to say Mikasa. Or maybe it's legit. But he's not like blushing or anything, he doesn't look caught, it's just, he looks so dry and dull all the time when regarding this certain ship. And then there's a dead Marco joke, I don't know how to fucking... I don't know. Then we have this one where Eren's like, I'm so bored, and then he has this, like, zombie dream. He's like, this is so boring, will my whole life be this way? This part is kind of interesting, like, why does Levi let Erwin kill him? It's some Ururi for you guys, I don't know. But anyways, this part kind of reminds me of All of Us Are Dead. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but you should check it out. Then he says, come with me if you want to live, I'm gonna destroy every last one of these zombies. Which I feel like just proves that Eren wants some fucking purpose, some just higher purpose. He likes to fucking save people, I guess. Contrary to the belief that he just wants crazy shit to happen. I think he wants to be a fucking hero. Then he wakes up, he looks ugly as fuck right there. And he's like, it was just a dream. I can't take this. But the interesting part here is Isayama's little note by Attack on Zombies. He says, I do feel ashamed about the reveal being a dream. Maybe AOE is just gonna be this fucking stupid ass shit where Eren wakes up and it was all a dream. However, we do know that like the characters talk about, oh, it felt like I was having a long dream. And that's actually some like timeline shit. It's either timeline or memory shit. So it's like, okay, maybe the reveal is gonna be something with timeline. Then there's this part, volume 31. I feel like this part, this is the part where people are like, Eren's just psychotic, he's just a sociopath. Which, this part does give fucking school shooter vibes. But I just always took it as regardless of the fact that, this is very destructive, this is horrible, it's terrible, he still wants to do it. It's still something he wants to do. I feel like if the series was trying to write him off as this, like, psychotic, like, fucking serial killer type weird guy, then Paradis should have been given like actual options, but they're optionless, so he takes literally the only option available. And and he wanted to, So I think it's disingenuous to say that in canon, Eren would have rumbled regardless if there was a threat or not. Eren would have killed a bunch of people regardless if there was a threat or not. But what we see is that even when he was a little boy, he is capable of violence. And he likes to save people. So, like, throughout his violence, he likes to fucking save people. And we see that with Mikasa. Like, there's no reason he had to stab that guy fucking 24 times, right? But he fucking does. He's a fucking violent person. He is. And it's through that violence that he likes to save people. That's kind of how I read it. To say he's psychotic is unfair. Like, we would need to see him killing, like, a bunch of, like, people who ain't doing, like, shit, right? We need to see him killing people on Paradis just for looking at him wrong, for breathing wrong. We need to see him snatching people's jugulars out. I think you're not supposed to take everything super literal in these casts, right? Which is why in the series itself, Historia didn't actually make some rumor that got Eren beaten up, right? It wasn't some stupid rumor. Eren, bit my head? You know, it wasn't literal. It's more of a nod to an actual event that's happening in the story. So if we look at this panel like that is just a nod to what he essentially becomes in the story. There you go. He's not psychotic. Now, this one is really funny because it gets really literal, but this is a scene where Gabby and Falco are trying to, like, introduce Eren to this cult, and Gabby says, "Oh, look, here comes a sad and foolish high school student who ate his father." Like, right, he ate his father in this AU too. This part is pretty funny too, because Eren's the only one who can see Ymir, and he's like, isn't it a little sad that you're making her walk around in those kind of battered clothes? That bucket you're making her carry looks kind of heavy too, doesn't it? And they're like, what? But then they tell the bosses of the cult or whatever that Eren can see the great founder Ymir. He can interpret what she's thinking. Remember, we don't take shit literally, right? Like, Eren was never actually kidnapped by cultists. But they like, Eren, let us hear what the goddess has to say. And yay, there's gonna be a happy ending. He starts freaking out, saying that he doesn't know the founder. He doesn't know what the fuck she has to say, which is a nod to him not knowing what Ymir wanted. And then Zeke and Yelena are like, tell us what she has to say. Eren's like, I don't know, like, fucking set me free. And then we get Zackley, Yelena, fucking Reiner's mom, Niall, fucking Onyokapon. We get all these people like, yay, our prayers have been answered. Eren's gonna set us free, yay. And this part is pretty meta, but, like, I don't have the brain cells to fucking configure it, right? But he's like, that guy's an officer. Are you telling me I can't even count on the police? Maybe it's just like how Eren can't fucking count on the people of Paradis, because these are the people of Paradis, right? And these are the volunteers, the Marleyans, right? You can't count on anyone to save Paradis. I don't fucking know. But here comes the most interesting part. So then we get some Eren regret, you know, after everything's all said and done, you know? Like, he's like, wow, I did hope something crazy would happen. Now look, it's too fucked up. But then, boom! Everyone comes in to save him. Check this out. We were turned away by the police and asked Historia for help. I paid you back now. We're even. Hurry up and get in. Historia saves Eren. So I don't know, maybe in AOE, Historia does something that saves Eren, that pays him back for saving her. So I don't know why everyone is working with Eren. Maybe in AOE they all fucking change their minds or something. I don't fucking know. But everybody's working with Eren to protect him from the police, right? Because the cultists, I guess, called the police and they want Eren back. So here is another interesting panel. We have some Eren guilt. And he's like, it's all because I thought about destroying the world, that everyone got caught up, right? Because they were all trying to rescue him. That's telling me that, hey, if we're to get AOE, all right, if we're to get some kind of AOE, maybe Eren fucking does kill the Alliance. Because look at that. Because he is destroying the world in canon, his friends got caught up. And not to mention how fucking happy Historia looks during all of this, right? She looks really fucking gassed up. She's literally cheering. For some reason, after Historia throws up, Ymir appears. Now, everyone knows that when people find out they're pregnant, they throw up. I just think that's pretty interesting, you know, all of you Ymir rebirth people. I mean, I think it's interesting. That's all I'm gonna say. And then Eren says that he was blessed with a message from Ymir. After seeing Historia throw up and seeing Ymir. Interesting. Yeah, and then the big reveal is that Ymir just wants everyone to relax, I guess. To fucking take a bath, go to a spa, go to the fucking what do you call that thing? A sweat room? What do you call that shit? She wanted everyone to go to a sauna, and Eren's like, we're gonna spread these teachings around the world. I don't know how to interpret this at all. Like, I don't even know where to start, but all right. Maybe it's meta for stop fighting everyone. Just relax. So let's all go to the spa together. So I don't know the fucking meta here, but there's the 10 there for you number fans. You 9 titans, 10 years, free the curse. For you fans of that. And then there's also Isayama's little notes, what I wanted to convey in the extra pages. So maybe the big message of Attack on Titan is to stop fighting. Or maybe it was just for us fans to fucking relax. I don't fucking know. Like, it could be some, like, shit like, hey, fandom, please behave. Please get along. Bro, what if it was meta that the fucking answer to what Ymir wanted would just be unsatisfactory? Damn, he played us. There's my review on the cast systems, bro. It was pretty fucking funny. Honestly, Isayama probably would make a good comedy series. That was pretty fucking funny. Like, deadass. Like, them bullying Eren, that was fucking hilarious. Over a rumor, that was fucking hilarious. It was funny. So, as a comedy, I give that a 10 out of 10. But as far as the big reveal at the end, like what the bitch wanted to say, that was kind of lame. So the ending, I give a fucking 3 out of 10. Just like Attack on Titan, bro. Nothing has changed. But anyways, let me know what you thought about the cast systems. Let me know if it gave you any new hope about AOE or anything like that. Just let me know. Let me know. Also, what do you think about this? It seems like Eren deadass has a crush on Armin, bro. Like, Isayama, I feel like, wants us to think, I don't fucking know, bro. Like, he can write some romance. It looks like he can. Because this is this is straight romance right here. So I don't know why we never see any direct, of that one ship that is apparently canon. Okay, whatever. That's just my thoughts. Anyways, bye. Comment, like, and subscribe. See you guys Sunday. But if you want to know where I am as far as Copium goes, I'm at 60% that it will happen. Now, this is a 20% decrease from my 80, but I'm usually all over the place, so, I guess we'll just see, you guys. Like, even if there's no change in answer in episode 12, there still could be AOE, We don't know what's going on in Isayama's head. We don't know what the actual divergence point is. It would make a lot of sense if it was at the point in episode 12, but it could not be, and that doesn't mean AOE is completely off the table. Anyways, comment, like, and subscribe. Goodbye, and I'm gone. But I'm not done yet, because I forgot to bring up this part of the cast system, the last part, when they're talking about how bad the ending was, what, and Armin, the smartest character, says he's been predicting this series for years, for 10 years, and you think it would end satisfyingly. And Eren's like, well, maybe we should just keep our eyes out for a sequel. Maybe that sequel, quote, quote, is AOE. And I think that's the most damning piece of evidence that, hey, it is fucking possible. And then the fact that he calls out that the mystery remains. Who would conclude a story like that? AOE?